A decade ago or so, a very brave explorer in Spain climbed into a very intricate, narrow cave and discovered a body that had been buried. And the date of that was 30,000 years ago, maybe 40,000 years ago. And I think that is an extremely important event because what it tells me is that this human being understood death. So who was buried there did not die as a beast in a field. They were given rites, a sacrament of kinds. And so that moment, to me, is the beginning of the rise from animality of humankind, as we began to realize something different about ourselves, that we were not beasts in a field, and that our animality was something that we could leave behind and become a new kind of being, a being with different kind of connections. So the moment that that individual, that human, understood that is, to me, the beginning of the rise of humans in the divine hierarchy. Now, how that happened, I guess, is something that we can, turn over to our imaginal understandings, that our creativity and our meditations can focus here. And to me, this is a powerful meditation. It's more than anything that we could do to understand that we are not animals, that we are not the beast. So regardless of the events of Genesis, where we began to understand our animality as we understood the nature of good and evil, that was a little trick. That was the understanding that, yeah, you can know good and evil, but now you will die. And you will die as beasts. And so the tree of knowledge of good and evil really held other things in it, in that fruit. And so we learned the hard way of deception. And it took a long time for us to realize that death could be understood not through the tree of good and evil, but through our own rise from animality, to understand that we did not have to be the beast. And so I think that's the test that we are still undergoing. That's the process we are still in the moment of. We are in the moment of a process. To rise in the divine hierarchy and to assume our role as divine beings, which would have been then our future had we not consumed the fruit, had we not been led to the fruit of the tree of good and evil. I think that's very hopeful because somebody figured it out, that human being in a cave 30 or 40,000 years ago began to have that understanding. And it is a powerful understanding. And so today, when we begin to understand our particular incarnation or manifestation, we get to choose. We get to have that same understanding of whether or not we will elect to be the beast or will we rise as divine beings, becoming truly human, the perfect human, no longer a beast. And we see this all throughout history, throughout literature. There's a wonderful record of humans becoming more than beasts. And also a sad time where we fall into bestiality and the world becomes a horrific place that cannot be understood by a human being. It's violence beyond our comprehension. So that's my meditation for today, is to think about your own experiences as it relates to your understanding of your nature in your rise in the divine hierarchy. And those experiences are precious because there was an experience that occurred when that human being decided to sanctify the death and honor the death of its companion. And that's what we should do. We should preserve the memory in that same way as a rise in our state of being. So our experiences and the ability to sanctify our experiences and preserve them and keep them is vital. And that's why I have persistently urged you, as I do myself, to begin to meditate on your experiences. What do they mean? What is happening to you? And how can you take them and move forward? So that human being in that moment of sanctifying the death of its companion took the experience of that death and honored it. It honored the experience of death in a way that is incredibly profound. And that's what we should be doing. We should be honoring our own experiences, not necessarily the ones that are the high experiences of life, birth and death, although they're very important. It's the small stuff. It's the connections that we have with other people. It's the remembrance of events where we are connected to the other world. And the joy and the glory of that connection is really profound, and we should seek to expand it, to summon it, to be more present in who we are, to become more human, and to become the perfect human, whatever that means. And so that's the meditation I'm recommending for you, to begin to go back into your life and remember those moments where you have, in your own way, sanctified your own experience. And in learning how to do that and learning how you did it in the past, I am urging you to continue to do it, to mark and note the experiences of your life and to meditate on them, the large and the small, to see what you can learn and where you need to go. Where is your next adventure? Where is your next experience? And can you craft that experience? And I say yes. You can craft intentions. You can say, I want to have this kind of experience. And in a world filled with psychic power that we have, it is so possible. It won't necessarily show up in a way that is beloved by science. It will be beyond that, or more than that, or unseen by that. But it nevertheless will happen. And it is the joy of life. It is the joy of life force as we understand it in a way that cannot be understood by the rational mind. So what I'm saying to you is ordinary reality is not necessarily a container for all that is. Non-ordinary reality, the unseen world, really is the place where most of living and life experience seems to occur. And we can go there and we can live there. Not in a way of the ordinary mind, but in a way of a kind of super mind, a super cosmic mind that we can be part of. And we can feel it all around us. It's here. And these experiences are sought after. So one of the things that I am very clear about is that the desire to become a human being is a powerful desire. And the beings of the unseen world seek to manifest themselves because they want, more than anything, to have the experience of life. They want to be alive and to have life experience. And it is thought, I think, and I agree with this thinking, I think, a little bit, somewhat, I don't know, that the unseen beings that we are aware of, in fact, other species that can somehow manifest themselves here, seek to have these experiences, and they have them in a way that is how shall I say, I don't know how to put this exactly, but they want our experiences for themselves. They are stealing experiences from human beings. And if you are not careful with your experience, you don't keep it and preserve it and really learn how to protect it, it goes away. And there are other creatures that look to have that experience for themselves. So in shamanic work, it's called soul stealing, where you're taking the life force of a being and you're capturing it. So where did that knowledge come from? How did that understanding arrive so precisely and so perfectly? Well, there are other understandings that are around that your memories can be taken from you if you do not preserve them and pay attention to them and hold them dear. I think that's the lesson I'm learning. And by golly, it's one that propels me to embrace and to hold very closely my own experiences and not to frivol them away. So sharing your experiences without consideration, to just casting them out into the world without really any concern, is not a good idea. So honoring your own experiences and to hold it close, to harbor it, so that it is not frittered away and shared with people who cannot understand it or don't deserve it. They don't know how to handle it or help you preserve it. You need to pay attention. I do. I pay a lot of attention. So I don't say much sometimes. I'm not as specific in my meditations or these podcasts as I probably should be or could be. But there's a reason for that. I'm not going to give it away. I'm asking you to do the work. You need to do the work. You need to do the work that I do in your own way, to begin to reflect and contemplate and meditate on the fact of your own life, your own experiences, and to profit by that. And in that profiting, you move in the divine hierarchy and you move closer to your perfect nature. Amen.